Well, back inside the Ncaa Center, taking a look at Adam Fisher in his third season with the Temple Owls. Through 2 seasons, it's a pretty good company in terms of wins as the Owls coach. Time to try and go back to the well with Griffiths. Hold that thought, Jason.
Once again.
Griffiths trying to take down the house twice in his opening 5-6 minutes as a Temple player.
I love it, Ray. You say go back to the well. If it ain't broke, don't fit on. And you want to just kind of see how do we actually stack up against some real competition. So that's usually where it comes in. And Griffiths has kind of told you he's got past that point already.
So relaxed, driving, kicking now. Mason thought about it. Trying to take to the bucket. Banks that one home, and Temple coming out of the media timeout looking good, extending the lead up to Santos trying to drive, spinning, floating, nothing but nylon there for Santos to cut the lead to 6 for Temple.
Yeah, that's a nice move by Santos, and on the way back down the court, he was letting Griffiths know he was here to play as well, so I like that little back and forth competition between these two guys.
Out of our Santos, what they do defensively, kind of to what Tulane does, and something that it might help them out down the line in the American, playing against this defense early on in the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach Fisher said, he wasn't sure what he was going to see, but he was hoping to see some of that zone because, you go against a team like Tulane, they've got a dynamic zone that they just kind of move things around a little bit differently than your normal matchup. So I think it's good.
Points in a row to respond to Temple's 4 out of the media timeout. Tobiasen trying to shoot him out of that zone. No good. Duradola trying to track the board. He's able to secure it. Spinning, attacking, trying to give it up. A little unselfish there. Smith driving, laying it in. A.J. Smith gets the bucket for Temple.
And if you're Temple, that's good. You get a good job of moving around and continuing to attack the ball.
Into an opposing gym of a big-time program with the rest of the gym not thinking you're going to get that victory.
Absolutely. We were talking a little bit earlier about opening up. There's another big three by Santos. Yeah, Santos is, Griffith's not out there, but he wants to show he can go toe-to-toe with the best that Temple has as well. But, as you're talking that to go in your favor or just get those jitters out, the rest of the season is a breeze.
Darian Ford gets some of the jitters out with that layup to give Temple a 4-point advantage. And right now, the Hornets excelling on the offensive end. Made 4 of the last 4.
Yeah, absolutely. They're sticking.
Transfer. Tobiasen, right wing 3 on the way. That one short. Gilliard fighting for that. And they talk about the New York toughness. That was what Adam Fisher used to describe him, that he brings to this team. What he does on the boards is incredibly impressive, especially in the offensive end. Led all guards nationally a year ago with 109 offensive. He gives it up to Duradola, trying to go to work. Shot clock winding down. Duradola trying to flow one. There's Gilliard to try and get the second chance opportunity. A little too strong on that layup, and now the Hornets out and running. Something they really want to find out early on here with this tough schedule.
With that talent.
Yeah, Stan Waterman telling us it's just not enough time to try and figure out with all those moving parts what you are. You're going to find out on the fly. Gilliard firing away from 3, no good. The ball knocked around, going to find its way out to Ford. Darian Ford, the Arkansas State transfer. To the corner, this one to Tobiasen, nothing but nylon. The 3 for Tobiasen opens up a 7-point advantage for the
block for Aiden Tobiasen.
You mentioned what Temple's doing on the offensive boards. 8 second chance points is that one for 3. Going to be a shot clock violation. They just had to try and beat the buzz there. Corey Perkins firing that one away. 8 second chance points for the Owls. Look at the scoreboard right now. There's your difference.
There's the difference in the game. I mean, when you get those opportunities, second chance opportunities, a kid like that, when the other guys on the team know what he's going to bring. When we were big time for Santos.
Santos.
Going to have to find Santos out there. He's real good in the post. He's got some really good footwork, but he's knocking down 3s at a high clip.
Griffiths rising again and through some contact, lays it in. Gavin Griffiths.
What a move by Griffiths. Griffiths going back to Santos. What you can do, I can do.
2 doesn't get it to rattle home, and there is Duradola for another board. His 7th.
Already 7 big boards for Duradola. Again, we talked about Aaron Bathai. Good job to get another good shot. He was hot early, so if I'm Coach Waterman, I don't mind getting that look from him.
Mason driving, can't get the finish. And a good board there on the other side of Basogi. A drive by Jane. You can imagine a little bit of dismay over that one. Feet getting tangled up.
We talked about being in the right place at the right time down on the other end for the layup. That time Duradola was in the wrong place at the right time because he picked up a foul he probably didn't really deserve to get.
So for the Hornets, Chance to regroup and make something happen. Ponce James with the basketball to the hoop. Gets it.
Great cut by Gilliard. He came from the wing. He was fine, as you mentioned. Yeah, last year it would get a little stagnant. I think with Jamal Mashburn being such a dynamic scorer, and what he brought was great. But if you were the other guys, you kind of stood around and kind of watched him. You wanted to see what he was going to do. You didn't really set good screens. This team, Coach Fisher said he don't know what he's going to do.
They're having some fun with this one. A little bit of talking.
A little bit of conversation going back and forth. You know, it's fun. As long as the officials keep an eye on it and don't get out of hand.
Yeah, I don't think it's where they're meeting up in Wilmington to hang out over the weekend. A floater there, that one good from James. Is Wilmington the midway point between the two? Dover and Philadelphia?
Dover and Philadelphia, somewhere in there. You know, maybe you can meet right at the border.
Yeah.
And he's a great one. If you can have a guy like that on your staff, that can tell why you can lead to that tremendous increase in wins that they've been able to do.
Tobiasen navigating under the bucket and laying it in to give Temple a double-figure lead. And you mentioned Owens. He was kind of the mayor pregame here, working around, working the
state staff.
Yeah, this staff mentioned just the unenviable task of having to replace all 5 starters from a season ago. Right now trailing by 10 here at the Liacouras Center, the opening night of the 25-26 season. They challenged themselves in the non-conference. Number of tough games coming up for them. I'll give you more on that later on.
Transition themselves. We mentioned Delaware State wanting to run, but great job by Temple getting out of transition and getting a good look. And they continue to do a wondrous job, not only on the offensive rebound, but lately on the defensive end as well.
Basic control on the basketball. I mentioned briefly earlier just the playmaker they're expecting to be as he makes a play right there, taking it down the left side and giving you the finish with the right.
Yeah, great move by that young man who looks at the basket.
Delaware State looking to respond. Not scored in over 2 minutes.
Yeah, Santos thought about it right there. I think he's getting a little jittery. They need a bucket, and there it is. They go inside. And that's one thing as a coach you love. Team struggling a little bit. You want to see if you can get a little bit of offense, move the ball, maybe get an easy look. Big shot by the big man. Down guys are. You know, if you're a point guard, you know, where does Griffin, for instance, where does he like to catch the ball where he can catch and shoot? You know, where should I put a bounce pass for my big man? Does he like it up high? Does he like it down low? And just kind of filling each other out, learning each other's ways. Probably about the 3rd or 4th game of the season, you start trying to pick that stuff up, and then you'll see a lot less turnovers and much better offense.
Rejected on one end by Griffiths and off the mark on the heave from beyond half court. Gavin Griffith with the exclamation point on quite the first half for him and quite the Temple debut as the Owls take an 8-point lead to the locker room.
Yeah, good start for him. He wants to fill up the stat sheet on both ends, both offensive and defense.
Buffet with 6 on the shot clock. Rising to try and get one to go. That one short by her offensive board for Moore. And Moore sneaks one in to cut the deficit to 4.
Yeah, that's a tough shot. Good rebound. 1 second left. Bad box out by the Temple Owls. Another opportunity for Delaware State, who's looking to get those second chance opportunities. They had none, and there's one for them already.
Here Moore's 3rd career game against Temple. One at St. Joe's, one at Wagner, one here for Delaware State, and Duradola drives and lays it up and in.
Good footwork, good move by Duradola. Again, continuing for 3 different teams.
Career started in the 2019-20 season with St. Joe's. A pair of years there as James splits the defense, gets the floor to go, and he's fired up.
Yeah, he's fired up because, you know, we talked about him in the beginning as someone who's first team all-conference preseason. He's had a lot of good looks, good moves. He just hasn't been able to get the ball to go. That time he made a good move. Nice little floater, finish. Maybe that'll get him started.
Carrying forward. Tried to use the screen from Duradola. Driving the right, spinning back around, looking for some help. Going to take it himself now with the left hand. Gets the bucket.
Strong move by the transfer from Arkansas State. He's doing a wonderful and some Temple ties himself. Being, as we mentioned, he's played against Temple 3 different times here. One for Wagner, where I don't really like to remember that game. They were able to actually pull out a victory against us, one of their first wins in one of the early season games like this one. He also played for St. Joe's, and he has a brother, Ramon. He came up good, huge in that game. I remember that game. Unfortunately, you know, you always remember your losses a lot more than your wins, right? That's a game that still haunts me. I remember that play just like it was yesterday.
James knocking down the jumper. It's Delaware State trying to write themselves into a little bit of history right now. Closing it to 4.
And as I mentioned, themselves at the line and trying to get some baskets in the paint.
Moore knocking down that free throw. For Ramir Moore, Stan Waterman referred to him as a jewel, a vocal leader, and got to campus and was named the captain by his teammates almost immediately just for what he brings to this program. The experience obviously there. You see the ties to Temple, his brother Ramon, the tremendous career that he had, a part of a couple of A-10.
Came through some energies. He starts to get himself going, and you know, he's happy to be back here in the opportunity, especially, you know, here in Philadelphia, you know, right on the court where his brother played, gets a chance to kind of show the Temple Owls what he's made of and what that family legacy is like, you know, here at Temple.
And I know you talked about it in the first half, but just the energy that it provides to go home and play at home and play in front of some people, and not that Delaware State's far away, but a chance to play right here in Philadelphia. What does that do for a player?
That's a little bit different. You know, it kind of brings you a confidence, a little familiarity. I remember, you know, a couple of games we played, we got a chance to go, who's actually down the conference, go home, play UAB when I was here. So, you know, I go home to Birmingham, you know, your mother can come, a bunch of your friends, and, you know, you hear those familiar voices. And those jitters we were talking about.
Sogi right there with the left hand, able to float it in.
Beautiful move by Obasogi. He's able to get the footwork, get down low, go over that right shoulder with that left hand. Easy little jump hook.
Griffiths for three. The answer Temple needed offensively to get a little distance between them and Delaware State.
Yeah, Temple had been a little stagnant into that. They was able to get the ball moving, and they found that man again, as my man Mark Jackson says. What, mama? There goes that man, Griffiths.
On the other end, the response from Delaware State, and Zion Bethea taking a look at the crowd, letting them know we're not going anywhere.
Yeah, Bethea's having himself a game, and he's having fun tonight. I love to see it. That young man is performing.
Far off that three-point arc, tried to get go, could not. Moore spinning around at the free throw line, can't get the bucket. Looking for the tie there. Griffiths on the run,
nice
going
pass.
down low to Tobias, two-handed flush, and Temple by 4.
Beautiful push by Griffiths, great cut by Tobias, easy bucket, especially after that look by Ramir Moore. As you look
for the Owls. For Temple, it might seem like the easy, the simple response here is Ford firing away at the three. Ford with the triple, and Temple by 7.
Well, if you're Delaware State, that'll get you out of the zone real quick. If Darian Ford can step back and knock one down that easy. Big shot by Temple.
Tobias doing a great job with the steal and the slam, going coast to coast.
In transition, the young man from Delaware let Delaware State know, hey, you might be from my hometown, but I'm here at Temple and I'm going to do it big.
And a timeout taken there by Delaware State following that play. How about Aiden to open up the floor? Winston a little bit in pain there, and Ford trying to drive, kicking to Bison. Right wing three on the way. He's got it. Aiden to Bison, the triple. He's up to 14 and the advantage up to 12.
And he continues to live up to expectations. And again, shot like that, Ray, much easier after stealing the dunk. Just kind of take your time, but great job by Punts and Delaware State creating another opportunity for themselves to score and cut into this deficit.
We've talked to Adam Fisher about the idea of getting old, staying old when it comes to attacking the portal, but also attacking recruiting internationally. Bryant from Belgium, a 20-year-old freshman, has played 3 years professionally overseas, most recently playing in France. So for Ayabua Bryant Jr., that's kind of what they're looking for from him. They're expecting more of the veteran mindset, despite the fact he is just a freshman.
Absolutely. You know, they're looking for him to just kind of rebound, bring some good minutes, and maintain
a chance at the line.
Yeah, good job by AJ, driving the lane, creating some contact, making something happen. Not a bad look on the other end for Delaware State. You know, as we mentioned, they've been in a bit of a drought. What you want to do with that, you want to get in the paint, you want to try to get something easy. Just wasn't able to kind of confirm and get a basket there. Temple gets out in transition, and again, find themselves at the line.
Violation again. Temple doing a good job defensively to close that one up for the Owls. After those 4 misses, 4 for 10 from the free throw line.
4 for 10, not a good start for Temple from the foul line. I'm sure if they go to practice tomorrow, there's going to be a lot of guys at the line shooting foul shots. But they've continued to show up on the defensive end. Another tremendous 30 seconds of defense, because that was a wonderful kick pass right to the pocket.
You ever get lucky like that with the pass? Ever have one go off your foot where it works out for you?
I can tell you a story about what happened in high school. I was trying to do a spin move, and the ball went behind my back by accident, and the guard was cutting it, went right to his hand for a layup, and I just ran down the court with my finger up. You know, you look at your coach and you pretend, yeah, coach, that's just.
And his ability to get to a spot and force you to make a decision. But that was kind of a philosophy for them as Mason securing that one, now trying to run the break. Jordan Mason downhill, the oop to Biason, rising and slamming it home.
Woo! Go get it, big fella. Aiden Tobias, and I think he jumped from Wilmington.
It in the front court for this Delaware State team. He loves the versatility of what they can bring. Santos seems to embody all of that.
Yeah, he definitely does. I mean, you've got a lot of big guys that can do a lot of good things. You got Santos, who can handle the ball a little bit. He showed he can shoot it. He showed the post moves. Then you got, the big kid, Awabu, who's been able to score, show a little footwork from his move and standpoint. He's been with this kid since high school, now through, college, 4 or 5 years. He's an extension of the coach on the floor, and that's what you want from a point guard. He says he's almost a guy that knows what I'm thinking before I even think it myself. So he knows how to get guys in positions. He knows how to play defense, and just a wonderful story overall, a real family affair. He's about a sophomore.
Great take down low with the left hand. James calming the waters and calming this Liacoris crowd.
Yeah, PJ with a nice step through, was able to finish. Much needed basket by Delaware State, just to keep this within somewhat of a striking distance with just over 6 minutes left.
Ponce James in double figures with 10 points. Attacking downhill, Smith, a good take from the left side, pops up under the right and lays it in.
And there's that mentality we were talking about when Coach Fisher mentioned him being able to get to the basket and get in the paint. He continues to impress doing that.
Speak of playing for Chaney?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Smith.
Coach wasn't falling for nothing.
That practice after the opener, what was that like?
I always say this about Coach Chaney. He was wonderful, and he understood the mentality, and he was a master psychiatrist. So what he would do, anytime you played well, you played a game, he would always remind you how bad you actually were. And then anytime you have, but those practices, he would say, get ready, fellas. Tomorrow you're going to die the death of a racehorse. And he meant it.
3 on the way, rattling it home there. Zion Bethea, the triple.
Big 3 by Bethea, and deep as well. Much needed basket. Continue to play like this. It'll be an exciting season for the Temple Owls. Getting up the floor, getting out in transition. Players like him, players like Aiden Tobiason, could be a really, really fun season looking at this Temple Owls team.
Yeah, how about the efficiency from him? 7 for 9.
7 for 9.
Doesn't hurt that you're just trying to grab the ball 2 hands and put it through the.
Well, I was going to say, it's kind of easy to go 7 for 9. I shot a high percentage as well, but I didn't get a lot of looks. And when the looks I did, they were pretty much like those. They were very close to the basket.
When was the last time you got up like that?
I'd say the last time I dunked, it wasn't probably that long ago. It was a donut and some coffee, though, unfortunately, Ray. They like to rebound. They like to play hard. And you see that in practice, that's instilled in them. And it's nice to see them continue to do that tonight.
Tobias in a very convenient 7 for 11 from the field. 1 for 2 at the free throw line for him. 21 points, a career high for him tonight.
Struggled a little bit at the foul line, but that's pretty much all you can really say. Really bad about the Delaware State team as well.
Bethea driving through the contact, laying it up and in, and a chance for the old-fashioned 3-point play.
Zion Bethea continues to go to the basket with that strong guard mentality. Been able to kind of keep this team in between him and his opener for this Temple Owls crowd.
Gonna have to clear some airspace every night here at the Liacoris Center that he is in the lineup. The transfer spent time at Rutgers and then Nebraska, now here at Temple. They like the Big Ten experience. They like the big hops just about as much.
Well, we see why Coach Fisher and his staff would have brought in a young man like this. He's offensively dynamic, can do a lot of things, being a guard at that 6'7", can play defense, can shoot the 3, can handle the ball. that's a nice weapon to have on your team.
Basic kick of the wing. Ford getting between the defense with a left hand. The fancy finish. Darian Ford making it a 15-point game.
Another nifty move by the lefty. He's able to get back in, put his feet in the paint, get another score, and that's been PJ's Punt's second.
The field.
Yeah, well, another opportunity for Bryant to get to the line and kind of get that first score, that first bucket out of his system. Kind of makes it easy. I'm really impressed by his footwork, though. He's been able to do a lot. Well, if you're going to get it, we'll take it off the glass. The bank is open late night on Wednesday. We'll play with bigger guys, able to be stronger if it was some smaller guys. And I like the way he's able to move around a little bit freer this season. I like that footwork.
Ford for three. They had to respect Duradola rolling. They left Ford open from right in front of the Temple bench, and he connects. Well, it's funny, the last offensive possession, Duradola, before he actually rolled and they bit on him and opened up Ford for that three, he was standing on that left block, had both arms extended before they got into the half-court offense. He was looking for the he wanted to get in on the action.
I would want to, too. I mean, that's what it looks like tonight. It's fun. You see guys flying, dunking, and just, pretty much every game. He brought so much to the table, being able to rebound and give opportunities to those other guys that could score, such as Tobias and such as Jamal Mashburn Jr. And now, after that, he comes in, slim, trim. He's had a full summer to work out. He's got a little bit more experience, and it shows the area. So when you're big and you're there, you got to think about how many other players you got around you, how you got to kind of, navigate guys moving, cutting, a double team coming. So for him to even get 3 assists from that standpoint, that's huge, because that means he's not only looking for himself, he's looking for those cutters. He's looking to get those other guys.
In high school, and for Temple, this was a high priority guy they wanted to secure as soon as Adam Fisher got here. And for Cam Wallace, now the opportunity to take the floor with the cherry and white.
Yeah, that was their guy from the get-go. They made that known. They understand what this young man can do, how he plays. Again, you don't score 1,700 points by accident. There's something that's there that he's figured out. But it's nice to be able to get him on the floor as a freshman. And again, game like this, gets a little bit of movement, gets to get past the ball, might even get a good look at the shot, and then that opens the door for him. And then he might be another kid, kind of like Aiden Tobias, who came along for him last year. So I'm sure they're looking for big things out of Cam.
And just the Philadelphia thrown away. Tobias on the run, going to slow things down, realizes that the shot clock is unplugged. Adam Fisher, both hands up. That'll be all tonight from the Liacouras Center for Temple. It got a little hairy there early on in the second half, but the response to the adversity they faced, certainly impressive. And an 18-point win at home on opening night. The Owls 1-0 with an 83-65 victory over Delaware State.
Yeah, and if you Coach Fisher, you couldn't ask